name's Don Smithmier. I am the co-founder and chairman of Matter Worldwide and the CEO and founder of Sophia, and I am a Project Skyway captain. To me, I think being an entrepreneur is about making sure that you don't talk yourself out of interesting things too early. I think the difference with entrepreneurs I know is that they've got an overdeveloped ability to find the good in things, and maybe an underdeveloped ability to find the reasons it won't work. And I think in some ways entrepreneurs are just kind of selectively crazy, you know, and just believe that things are going to work. You have to have confidence, otherwise you'd never make the jump. So what drives me as a person, I would say, is things that interest me. I can't work on things that I'm not fundamentally interested in. I don't know if it's because as I get older I just have less patience for things I'm not interested in, but I'm not driven by money, I'm not driven by status, I'm not driven by accomplishments, I'm driven by my interests. And it's my interests that have started the businesses that I own. I'm interested in these things, I'm curious about them, I want to figure them out. I think they're fun to work on, I think it's exciting to do it with creative people that I like to work with, and that's really that's what drives me more than anything. I do think Sophia has the potential to be a game changer. I think that we're at a unique point in history where technology and education are coming together in ways that they haven't before, and you can really start to challenge the way that people have always taught and learned. And Sophia makes it possible for one person to teach another person regardless of where they are in the world and what status they hold and what position they hold and what credentials they hold. And we all know that we all learn from each other. You could teach me something right now, and that may be about math, and it may be about science, or it may be about a language, or it may be something about the way that you grew up, you know, but I could learn from you, and Sophia makes it possible for that exchange to happen. I'm still fairly new at this. I've been working on my own for 3.5 years now, and I can't say that I've had a low point yet. I've found being an entrepreneur so totally energizing. It's just such a great challenge. It's so fun. There's always pressure, but pressure, I think, is really different than stress. Somebody told me once, I think this is great wisdom, that stress is pressure that you're not prepared for. And I really do feel like, having spent a number of years working for somebody else in a fast-growing company, which was Capella for me, I learned so much from him, the founder of Capella, and that prepared me to deal with the pressure of running my own company now. So it's never gotten to the stress level. I've always felt the pressure. I think the low points are where you feel like you're just not doing things as well as you know you can do them, and the company isn't yet at a stage where it's performing the way that it can, and so it's that impatience. And sometimes that can be an energy drain, but I would really say to anybody thinking about being an entrepreneur, if you have the natural fire in the belly, that sustains you, you know, and so low points are few and far between. I've been a musician my whole life, and I've always had a desire to, you know, break into the top 20 on the national charts, you know, as a songwriter. And there's no magic to that. I just always thought that would be an amazing thing. So I'm a musician now. I'm in a band called Rocket Club, and we've got our 3rd song on the Billboard charts, and the highest we've made it is 49. So I've got another 29 spots to go. So I haven't succeeded yet. I guess that would be the failure I would point to. Here would be my advice to any entrepreneur that's going through Project Skyway. It would be, don't ever let yourself get convinced that your idea is so brilliant that no one else will ever top it. But at the same time, don't ever convince yourself that you've got a dumb idea. You know, the truth is always somewhere in between, and if you have a great idea, that's excellent. Keep it like that, and then focus on execution. Great ideas are everywhere, the ability to execute a great idea is really the difference between a successful entrepreneur and someone who just had a great idea. So the idea itself, you've got to at some point separate yourself from it and say, I had this idea, others are going to have it too, and now I've got to focus on bringing this idea to life. And I think what Project Skyway can do is help entrepreneurs work through the mechanics of how to actually make that happen. Make your business plan, get your funding, build your team, and then get out and get running. I want to help Project Skyway entrepreneurs because, number one, I think that Project Skyway is very important and very necessary. It's necessary here in the Twin Cities of Minnesota, but it's an idea that I think could help other cities and states too. And to the extent I can help, I'm anxious to help because I think oftentimes there are many would-be entrepreneurs that never become entrepreneurs because at some point they just never convince themselves to make the jump. And so it's those mental barriers that I think sometimes can be the most destructive to a would-be business or a would-be entrepreneur. Many times when you're starting a business, there's financial constraints or there's resource constraints or there's technology constraints, but I think for a lot of people the mental constraints are some of the toughest to get over. Starting your own business is scary, but at the same time it's not as scary as everybody makes it out to be. And somebody told me once that the only difference between an entrepreneur and everybody else is that at some point the entrepreneur jumps off the ledge while everyone else stays on the ledge and just peers over. And it's hard to know why that is, but sometimes I think that comes down to needing a coach and talking to somebody who's already jumped off the ledge and found that it worked out just fine. That can be comforting, and so I'm anxious to help in any way I can.